Okie dokie, so this is my quarantine body. It's not very dressed up for you, nor is my quarantine kitchen. But I wanted to take an opportunity right quick to share one of my incentive woohoos, and that is our knife set. I only am showing you the one right here, because, I mean, I would just be showing off if I pulled out all the knives at once. Plus, people might get nervous with me having so many knives in my hand at one time. But we have in our catalog a whole lot of cutting implements. It's probably, could be scary in the wrong hands, but we have a whole lot of things that you can chop and dice and cut with. And I tend to be a knife person. I have the chopper and the egg slicer and a couple of those sort of things. And I use them periodically, but I actually enjoy chopping with my knives. And up until I got this set, my prized knives were my Hinkles. And I would have swore by them. I would have told everybody that if they were investing in knives, that's what they would want to get. I've had this set. Well, I've had this set for maybe two and a half weeks, something like that. But I didn't use them until recently, just because they sat near my office area, because I like to look at them, because they were kind of like a trophy, because I received them as an incentive as part of a sales reward, which I was kind of proud of. But I finally decided that if I wanted to talk about them, for one, I needed to use them, and two, that they made a really kind of silly trophy, and they were much more useful in my kitchen than in my office. So when I ended up using it, I was totally stunned by just how amazing they are. And I've worked in kitchens before. All through college, I worked in restaurants, and I'm used to a decent knife. And I knew my Hinkles weren't a premium knife because I just couldn't afford that. But I didn't expect the Pampered chef knives to do certainly no better than the Hinkles. And not only did they do better, it just kind of blew me away. So I'm going to try to prop you. If you fall, know that I didn't mean it. Let's see here. And that's my makeshift, because I decided I need two hands to cut, because I'm fancy that way. Let's see if I can, oops, I apologize for this. There we go. Okay, so here's my handy dandy chicken breast. And I just wanted you to see just how nicely this blade goes through. So this is the chef's knife. It's probably my go-to knife in most cases. And so I'm just gonna cut through this, and normally there would be some sawing action going on here, and I don't know if you can tell from the angle that you're at. This is just like one and done sort of deal. It's one, bit of pressure down, and that's it. And whoops, trying not to chop my fingers off. I'm able to get through it all really quickly. So I was telling you that we have a lot of chopping tools. And like I said, I figured I didn't really need to invest much in Pampered Chef's sharp things, because I enjoy working with knives, and not, like I said, not for any dark, nefarious reasons. But I enjoy the feel of it. It's kind of like driving a stick shift car, that there's a certain feel that comes from it that's missing when you use other tools. Not that those other tools don't have their place, but when I got this knife, the joy of cutting, I keep sounding a little sketchy, but the joy of cutting was crazy. It's such a treat to use it. And I told people, I feel like, golly day, I don't remember her name. It was the Mike Myers character that he played on Saturday Night Live from he was like from New Jersey, New York, maybe. And he would talk, or he being she, would talk about everything being like butter, that goes through like butter. And that's what this knife is like, is it goes through the chicken, it goes through onions, it goes through beef, it goes through just about anything like butter. The really easy one slice, just a little bit of pressure down and you're through it. There's no sawing. There's no like tension in your fingers. Sometimes I get when I have to do a lot of chopping. And also I was recently asked by a person who sells some woohoo knives, what would be my wish list if I could improve one thing with my knives, what it would be. And it would be that I wouldn't get blisters. And that sounded strange to her, so I guess not everybody chops as much as I do. But if I'm doing a lot of cooking, I get blisters on my fingers from rubbing up against the edge of the knife, and not the sharp part, but rubbing up against the edge of the knife. And with these knives, I don't have that sort of issue, partly actually a lot, because I'm not putting as much pressure on the knife to get it through. So anyhow, I'm gonna go finish making our Greek chicken. I'm gonna do some chicken souvlaki, but I wanted to share that with you, even though this is, my happy quarantine dressed up knot for you, but not that you're not worth it, but quarantine. So holler if you have any questions about the knives, anything else. I'd love to share it with you. And if I know it, I will tell you. If I don't, I'll find out. Have a great night.